everybody, my name is Gavin Erickson again here, and I am going to talk to you about a band called The Who and their fifth album, Who's Next. The Who are a band who originated in England in 1964. The founding four members are Pete Townsend, guitar and songwriting, Keith Moon, drums, John Entwistle, bass, and Roger Daltrey, who was the lead singer. The Who are known mainly for their live stage performances, their concerts. They are full of energy, full of madness, really, and their shows usually resulted in them smashing their instruments and their gear into piles of debris on stage, resulting in the crowd going absolutely wild every single time and stamping their legendary status in rock history. So, Who's Next is their fifth studio album. They recorded it in Olympic Studios in Barnes, England. The producer was Glyn Johns, and he's the first. This is the first time that The Who had used Glyn Johns to produce an album. They had previously used a man named Kit Lambert, who was more focused on making the album flashy and showy, and not really paying too much attention to the sound quality and how well it sounded, which is what Glyn Johns was known for. He put a lot of effort into the mixing and the overall sound of the album, rather than making it look good. So really using Glyn Johns was probably one of the best decisions they had ever made, going in a different direction, testing new waters. So they went into the studio in May to June of 1971, and the album was released in August of 1971. The album featured some state-of-the-art music that had never been done before. Pete Townsend, the main songwriter for The Who and guitar player, was using synthesizers in a way that had never been done before. He was putting a drone effect on them for a couple of the songs, and really used them, made like a melody out of it instead of just weird spacey sounds. He made like a backtrack for two of the songs, which acted almost as a metronome, and just put a whole different aspect on The Who, and just really rock in general, because nobody had ever heard that at the time. And the two songs that contain the synthesizer are Bubba O'Reilly, which everybody knows. It's the Teenage Wasteland song, and Won't Get Fooled Again, which actually those two songs begin and end the LP. So yeah, Bubba O'Reilly is the first song on the LP. It's really, really good way to set the tone. It's a great heavy hitter, really catchy, really gets your attention, and slowly eases out a little of the rockness into the next song, A Bargain, which is another song that everybody knows. It goes like, "Got you a bargain, the best I ever had." That song contains some serious drumming and guitar brilliance. It happens to be one of the popular songs that they have, but seems that keeps the technicality of rock right all throughout it. It's a great song. Following that song is a song called "Love Ain't for Keepin'," which, in my opinion, is the best song on the album. It's not very hard rocking. It's kind of acoustic with a slow drum beat, but it's just straight up beautiful. It can put a smile on anybody's face, no matter how bad of a day you're having. And following that, there's other songs that are featured on the album are "My Wife," which has really great drumming throughout. It's one of the best drumming songs I've ever heard. And Won't Get Fooled Again, which is at the end of the album. And then there's Behind Blue Eyes, which is another song that a lot of people know. It's kind of a ballady song. It's on the radio a lot. That kind of wraps up the album. The LP version, which is the record version. It's the remaster has about 5 more songs on it, but the original was just those 8 songs, and it reached number 1 in UK in 1971, and it ended up reaching number 4 in the Billboards in the United States. In 1971, in September 1973, it reached the gold platinum, and or excuse me, just the golden record, and then in 1993 it reached or multi-platinum records. And VH1 has called "Who's Next" the number 13 album of all time, while Rolling Stone has called "Who's Next" number 28 album of all time. So that's just showing some of the credentials it has received since coming out. Really is one of the best CDs. I recommend it to anybody who's a rock enthusiast, who likes concept music and just likes to have a good time in general. It's a really good album.